so wonderful to have you stop by and share just a few minutes with me today. And today I want to talk about life changes. How often on this channel we have had conversations about changes in our life, about loss of a spouse, a loved one, a job, moving to another place so you lose the home that you really loved and you had to move somewhere else. Life is full of changes. I mean, nothing is static if you are still here on this planet. Always have ups and downs. With our health, with our environment, everything around us, the weather, everything is always changing. So that is just what life is. Life is change. And sometimes those changes are so awesome and we're excited about them and we can't wait and they're very, very positive. But also mixed in with those are changes that are negative and that hurt us and that we can't understand. And the first thing that we have to do, and when I lost my husband, I had to accept it. I knew what I was going to be going through and I knew the grieving process. But the hardest thing for me after I got that phone call from the hospital was to accept that he was never coming home, to accept that I would never see him again. But that's an important part of any loss, even if it's your job. Knowing that you're not going to be back with all of those people, you're not going to do the same thing every day. You have to accept that that is just part of life. This is your journey, and another door is going to open for you. That it's supposed to open for you and to lead you on that journey. And when you lose a loved one, it's especially hard because you feel that a part of you is missing. A part of you is gone. You can even feel that way when you've been raising your children your whole life and now you're an empty nester and those children have flown off to somewhere else. As a mother, don't you feel that just a little piece of your heart, just a little piece of your being is grieving? Because you are missing those children, even though you know it's the best thing for them to go off and spread their wings and fly. But acceptance of life and the changes that we have to make, it's so, so important. We have to learn how to pace ourselves. When anything happens to us, you have to learn to pace yourself, give yourself time. Don't think that all of your problems and all of your losses and all of the things that have happened to you are going to be gone in a day. It's just not the way it happens. There are steps to a grieving process. And when you lose your job, you're also in a grieving process. When your children go, that's also a grieving process. So allow yourself to go through those different stages you have to do. And in the meantime, take care of yourself. You have to take care of you because after all, you want to be around to maybe get that better job. You want to be around to be there for your children and your grandchildren. I read the most heartbreaking thing the other day when I read that Debbie Reynolds willed herself to die the day after she lost her daughter. She was very close to her daughter, and her son said that his mother willed herself to die when she lost her daughter and the very next day she passed away. That is evidence of how strong our mind and body connections are. You have to will yourself to move on and to want to be here to serve your purpose and to fulfill why you are here. Look for new interests. Look for new opportunities. Don't make rash decisions about your life. When you are in that grieving process, it's so important just to keep the status quo with your life. So often, many people make rash decisions when they're in a crisis, when they're in the grieving process, and maybe they let their children talk them into moving, downsizing, and moving to a smaller place, or completely uprooting and moving near them. Well, maybe that is the right answer for you. Maybe that is, but you should really take time to think about all of these issues and all of these big decisions in your life while you're grieving. It really is never good to make really important big decisions while you are in the grieving process. I know my children and my daughter, they said, oh, Mother, you should leave where you live and get closer to everybody and go, to Nashville or go somewhere where you don't have all those memories. But I really love it here. This is where my husband and I made a home, and I don't do well in winter anymore, and all of my children live in areas where it gets cold in the winter. And sometimes I feel, even when I'm in Nashville during the summer in my cottage, I somehow feel I've lost a little bit of my independence. And to me, that is really important. So for me, being here in the winter, in a warm climate, and having my independence, and being able to spend at least 3 months or more with my children in the summer and being close to them is wonderful. So I have the best of both worlds, and I'm so happy that I did not allow them to convince me to give up my home here, because Arthur and I already downsized. It's not a great big place that I have to take care of. So I am so happy that I didn't make that decision while I was grieving. Right now, I have to listen to my gut and my own feelings and know what is right for me. So give yourself a short story. When people ask you how do you feel or what's going on with you, a short story that is comfortable for you and that keeps them from prying more deeply into issues maybe you don't want them to go, or a direction you don't want them to go. I would say that acceptance, giving yourself time, asking for help if you need it. Don't make big decisions right now because you may regret it later. And give yourself a true story that you can share with others, as much information as is comfortable for you. In the meantime, realize that you do have a purpose, you're still here, and that you are walking the path that you were meant to walk, and know that there are other wonderful adventures ahead for you down the road when you're ready. And remember, happiness doesn't stop with loss. It just changes. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today, and I would love to have you subscribe if you haven't already, so that you can join this wonderful community that we have here. Thank you for being here. Please be good to yourself no matter what circumstance you are in, and have faith that tomorrow is going to be a better day. Be kind to whomever crosses your path. Let's share the love that we are blessed to innately have. Pray for world peace, and of course, remember that wherever you are in the world, you are loved, and that you are never, never alone. Take care, and I will see you soon.